How's it going, everybody? Okay, so welcome back to another video. I'm going to show you how to make this hyper grass cube. I don't know why you'd want to make that, but that's your own prerogative. Also, please download my game Cautious Kits off of Google Play. It's only at Android currently, working on iOS, but expensive. And then here's just a clip of me making all of these transparent because I forgot to do that when I was making my animation. I remembered halfway through, so I had to manually edit. They don't look perfect. It would be a lot better to reanimate the whole thing, but I wasn't going to wait that long. But I got really fast at it, so I thought it was kind of neat to show. It's just the shift click and then delete and then control shift, enter, and then control tab, and then rinse and repeat. So I could delete all of these really fast. And then there's two things to do first. Delete the first cube, and then you'll have to add a few settings to do what I'm doing. So go to preferences, go into community, and then type in extra. You're gonna have to enable extra curves and extra mesh. And then we'll do Shift A, add a single vertex. And then we're going to go to the x-axis, hit E, Control to drag it out, and then we're going to make a cube here. I know we just deleted the cube, but there's some broken meshes on that original cube. And then we're going to delete the middle vertex by clicking on it, hitting delete, and then we'll mesh these two together by selecting both and hitting F. We'll just look around for a second, make sure all the meshes are together. And then now we're going to do the inside part, so we're going to hit Control E, and then we are going to make sure all those are at the halfway point between us and the middle, so at that negative 0.5 and 0.5. We'll do that all for each one of the corners. It's all fun stuff, just make sure they're all meshed together. And then we are going to link all of these together. We're not going to make a face, but we are going to make edges, and edges are F. So we just click on both points and hit F between them. Then now we have one side of our shape. Now we are going to extrude some more points by hitting E and then holding Control, make sure it's all square. We'll link these 2 points up. We'll make the last edge. So we'll do the other side. Drag it all the way out, hit E, Control, just to get those lock points, F to bind the meshes, and then we'll bind the rest of the corners. And then now we'll hop into the other side of the cube and then put in all the other points. It's a lot easier the second time because you just line them up, and holding Control makes them all perfect. And then we'll just hit F to merge all of the meshes. And then now it's time to move them, so then we'll hit the move tool. We'll go in, I hit Control, but it probably would have been easier just to type it out anyways. So we'll do that at the 1.5 just to make all those insides a little bit closer, and then we'll do the 0.5. And then we'll link all of these vertices together, so then we can have our nice hypercube. Now you're wondering how we're going to make this better, is we are going to add a skin modifier to it. The skin modifier, it looks kind of cool like this, but it's a little bit too big, you can't tell what's going on. You're going to want to hit A and then Control A, and then now you can drag the different sizes. You can make it really big or really small. I like it in between. Now looking around the edges, sometimes the vertices don't match up. This time I got lucky, but I'm going to purposely break it to show you how to fix it. So you kind of see it's broken there. Those two edges are bad, so we're going to save it quick. We'll just name it something random like Hey P or whatever. We're going to export it as an OBJ. Make sure it's only selected only in objects, and then we'll call this HeyBG temp. Now we'll import that file once again. Gotta look for it because should have named it AAA, so it'd be right at the top, but win some, you lose some. Now we're going to move it, move tool, and we will delete the old cube, but we'll do that in a bit. So you're going to want to go into edit mode, hit on each one of the vertices, and then hit F. That'll generate a face. And then here we're going to do a little bit of a different one. So we're going to make a triangle first, and then link those ones together. Else the mesh will look a little weird. But now we'll check all the other faces, see it's good, and then we'll go into object mode, delete the original. Now we will move this one. We're going to hit A and then highlight all the faces and then put it on move tool. I was having a little bit of trouble here just because I'm not quite used to Blender. We want to center this as best as possible. Just, it's good practice. If you ever want to add this to a game or something, which is in Cautious Kits, please download it. Link in description. Sorry, a little bit of self-promo there, but yep, the Cautious Cube is right there, the Hypercube. So now it's time to add a particle system to it, and then add grass. So it's going to be on that far right there. You can kind of see it, and then all of that hair is extremely too long, so we're going to make it a little shorter at 0.1, and then we're going to do the advanced settings, and then we're going to go to physics. So this Brownian, this makes the hair go in random directions, it makes it a little more unique. And then we want to wait on how many grass particles we have, or hair particles, until we're about ready to finish, because it does lag down your system, and then we'll pick a good grass color. If you hit that top piece at the top, you can look at textures instead of just object view. So now we will render this. It's going to take a little while. See, this was an Eevee though. Eevee, like, it's getting there, but it doesn't quite look as good as Cycles, and they put it to GPU. If you don't have GPU, there's lots of different tutorials of how to get that set up. I'm using CUDA. We're going to denoise this a little bit, and we're going to make the light bounces a lot less, because there's not a lot of light bouncing. It's not like an atmospheric room, so that we don't really care about that. And then we'll render this. It's going to take a little while, but as you can see, it looks really pretty. I'm going to pause the recording and then jump back in when it's finished. As you can see, now the cube is finished. It does look a lot nicer than the one I had in the original intro, and the reason is because that would have taken so long to render the entire animation, because I had 120 frames in that animation. So just to make it easier, I'm going to save it and then maybe make it as a thumbnail, because it is pretty cool. Now we're going to animate it, so we're going to add a cube, so Shift A, and then add a cube, just get it there. And now we're going to hit that top right. I don't know what it looks like, kind of like it's not a scissors, I don't know. But yep, you can see it still, so we're going to want to hide it. Even if it's hidden on this tab, it's still not going to be hidden. I'll finally find it again. And then it's the camera, so you want to make sure that we can hide it to the camera, so you can still see it on frame here. And we'll hit render, and then you can't see it in there anymore, which is really good. So we're going to use this as a tool to make the camera spin around the box evenly. So we'll just link the camera together, and then now in the animation we can just spin the box all around, and then we can get everything to work right. And then now it's time to animate it. So we're going to make sure we click on the box. Then we're going to do I, and then just rotation, because we're only moving the rotation. I can't currently generate it because I'm not selected the box. I eventually figure it out, but you know, even with practice, you'll still mess up Blender. Alright, now we have the animation. So now we're going to jump a few frames forwards, I think about 20 frames, and they're going to hit I and then just rotate it. I rotated a lot. This is going to be an extremely fast animation, but you know, it'll be cool. I think it did spin a little bit off kilter, but it's fine. So then we'll just spin it all the way, just so it's a nice looping set, because you know, shadows. That's why the animation in the beginning kind of looked nice as a loop, because if you always reset it at the end, but it's a little fast. And then we'll render this out. So we'll go to Eevee just to make it fast. We'll turn down the sample size. It's gonna look disgusting, but just a proof of concept. You can turn up those settings and wait as long as you want. So we'll hit render there, and it's pretty much frame per frame. So this is the final animation. So please check out my game. Third selfless plug in this video, but you know, I worked hard on it. I want people to actually play it. So please like the video, dislike the video, subscribe, unsubscribe, ring a bell, unring a bell. I don't really care. You're an adult. If you're not an adult, you're still a free will. Do what you want. Yes. Bye.